So your DJI Action 5 Pro isn't just for action, and nor is it just for tourist stuff like this, where we're outside Buckingham Palace. It can actually help you earn thousands on the side as a little side hustle. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it and how you can start earning money from your action camera starting today. Now, I use my Action 5 Pro to earn me a little bit of money as a side hustle income thing. Everything from making videos here on YouTube, which pays a little bit through the AdSense, right though through to doing stock footage and commercial client paid shoots, as I was just saying. So stick with me, follow this video along. I'm going to take you with me as we jump into a client paid shoot, and I'm going to run you through the 5 things that I did to get me rolling forwards. So now that I'm earning hundreds, sometimes thousands extra per week purely as a side hustle. Ready? Let's go. All right, heading off to the second time to the same people. Here we go. So step one then was figuring out how or what exactly I was going to do to make money using my camera. Now, I don't know how I stumbled across it. Well, actually, I think I do know how I stumbled across this. When I was researching and then buying my drone, I'd seen here on YouTube, there were videos of people in the States doing property fly-throughs with their little drone. And I thought, oh, that's cool. I've got a drone, an FPV drone. I've got the Avata 2. It's perfectly small enough for doing property fly-throughs. Let me look at doing that. So I researched it over here in the southeast coast of Englandshire, and while there are some, like not very many, the ones I'd seen, they were shocking. So I was like, right, that's it, that's the target, that's what I'm going for. And then I thought to myself, how do I get into these estate agents? I can't just go knocking on the door and go, hey, I'm Tim, I've got a drone, let me do a property fly-through for you to help you market these properties. And by the way, you can pay me a lot of money for it. That wasn't really going to happen, but I'd got the idea. So step one, write down, come up with the initial idea, but be prepared for it to change, because it changes. So right now we are on our way to a client shoot, some commercial work that I'm doing. This is the second time that they've booked me to do some work for them in the space of 4 weeks, which is mega. Like, I'm really pleased with that, and thankfully it's pretty local, only takes about a 20-minute drive, so I can factor in the journey time and the amount of time on site all into one. And I think they want me to do like maybe one little drone flight, which will take minutes, and that's an easy edit together, and then it's just sit down, point and shoot camera stuff, which again, super quick and simple to edit. I did some of them before. I learned the lessons the first time. I made notes of what I did wrong, so now I know how I can make them even better for the client, and also even better for me with regards to being efficient with what I'm doing. So we're heading off down there now. I'll show you the place in just a second. Just as a quick side note, we are fully internal audio for this. I need the microphones for clipping to members and clients and stuff when we get inside. So anything I'm talking to you now, Action 5 Pro, internal audio, hopefully the wind's not too bad. All right, so if step one is coming up with the idea, and then you've got that idea, no one in their right mind is gonna give you paid work, because why would they? So what is step number two? Step number two is build up that portfolio of work. Now, how do you do that if no one's going to give you a chance? Friends and family. Run through your friends and family list, which is exactly what I did. I went through and I was like, right, property tours, fly-throughs, who do I know who can help me with this? So I ran through the list, few people I knew, got in touch with them and said, look, this is my idea, this is my little side hustle plan. Do you think you could help me out with this? One example in particular, some friends of ours, they run an Airbnb business, they're renovating some buildings, they have social media presence. So I said, look, let me come down, let me do a couple of videos for you. You can have them for nothing, and you can pop them up on your social medias, and if it helps market your property, great, but it helps me out because it gives me an example of work. So run through that friends list, and see who you can tap up to help, and build up a portfolio of work from that. Now I'm going to circle back onto that, because doing that Airbnb property fly through has resulted in me being here at a local leisure centre, not doing a property fly through, but doing something completely different. Right, come with me, we're going in. I may not be able to get too many clips while I'm in here with them, but I will do my best to grab a couple of bits. If not, we're just going to bounce between me being here and being back in the back cave, so let's go. So I'd hoped to take you behind the scenes with me on that one, but it just wasn't appropriate, and I think that's something else you need to accept, that if you're trying to document what you're doing with these things, then there's going to be times and setups where it just isn't going to work. Like, there was so much going on, there were so many people lined up for testimonials and getting some action shots and bits and pieces, and I'm using the camera that I was using for that, and so it wasn't going to happen. But following on from point number 2, use is the wrong word. Ask your friends and family for help so that you're able to build a portfolio of work that you can then show to prospective clients, or approach prospective clients with. So that would be number 2. My idea was the property fly-throughs. Now that has evolved from property fly-throughs through to working with gyms and leisure centres on their marketing campaigns. And that came about because a friend of mine and Zoe's is the general manager of a local outdoor swimming pool to us. Big setup out there, really great. And I just said to her, I said, hey, look, do you want me to come and do some flybys of the setup you've got and showcase the bits and pieces that you've got on there? And she was like, yeah, come down and do it. So we did that project, went down there. I posted them a few on the socials. She then got asked by somebody she knows, who did that for you? That looks amazing. Can you put them in touch with me? And there we go. There was my first paying client off the back of just going and shooting some content from there. So friends, family, ask them to help you create a portfolio of work and examples of the things that you think you might want to do, and then we get a bit of word of mouth stuff in from that. Okay, tip number 3, and I learnt this one the hard way, so definitely remember this one. If something goes wrong or you make a mistake, even after the fact, so you shoot whatever it is you're shooting, you get back, you download it, you look at it and you think, oh no, I've screwed that up, what am I going to do? 1, don't panic. 2, write it down. Make a little bullet point list of the things that went wrong, you didn't get right, your mistakes you made, so that we can make sure we don't do those again. So the next time you go into that situation where you're filming something similar to what you have been doing, we know we're fully prepared. I made that mistake big time. So tip number 3 is write down the things that go wrong, figure out why they went wrong, what can we do next time, and go from there. And that leads me on to kind of tip 3.5, I guess, the bonus tip here. And that is, when you've done something for the first time, try to create a template from it so that the next time you go to do that job or that particular type of shoot, you can be more efficient. I'm not going to say easier, because that sounds like it's a cop-out, but you can absolutely be more efficient with your time. Let me give you an example. I've just been on site for a couple of hours. I'm now heading home, and I'm probably going to spend an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops, putting all of these bits and pieces together. So editing the footage, uploading to the client's folder, and that's me done. So 3.5, maybe 4 hours worth of work, and I'm done, because I've got a template set up, because I learnt from the first time I did it. So I'm being more efficient with my time. Be more efficient with your time, charge the same amount of money, and enjoy more of your day off. So if we're being more efficient with our time, we could potentially line up more than one gig, more than one shoot on the same day, and we're therefore maximizing our earnings potential for that day. So if I do 2 hours at that place, and I do 2 hours at the next place, and I've got 2 to 3 hours worth of editing, one day's work, maybe that's all I work for the rest of the week, because I've earned my week's money. It's a side hustle. Efficiency with time, make more money spending less time working. Brilliant. Tip number 4, gear, equipment, gadget, gizmos, all the stuff we love to spend our money on. What gear do you need? Well, you no doubt most likely already have everything that you need. You genuinely don't need to go spending money on cameras and lenses and microphones and all that kind of stuff, because what you have, you'll be able to get away with it, trust me. However, imposter syndrome, that is an actual thing, that's going to set in, and you're going to feel like a bit of an imposter walking around just using your cell phone, your mobile phone, to make a bucket load of money. However, if you are interested in gear and maybe what you can use, linked below is a full list of everything I use, so you can have a read up a bit more about it, see if it's for you. So check that list out. Okay, so point 5 then is quite simply, how much do we charge for this? And I'll tell you exactly how much I charge in just a second. But before we get to point 5, let's recap the other 4, make sure we know where we're at. So the first one is we need to come up with that idea, that initial idea that we're gonna work towards building out that side hustle. The second thing we need to do, let's talk to our friends and family and see if there's anything we can do for them that will enable us to build up a portfolio of work. Point number 3, learn from those mistakes. When you mess something up, and you will continue to do so, I keep continuing to do so, write down what you did wrong so that the next time before you get there, you can just run through that list and make sure it doesn't happen again. So mistakes you make, you're going to accept that, write them down, learn from them, move on to the next one. Next up, the gear that you use. Well, obviously we're talking about the Action 5 Pro, the action camera, and also I used my phone, which is what I'm using right now, my iPhone 16 Pro, and I've got, it's a bit rustly, sorry about that, I've got my mic mini plugged into my phone, and we're using that. Now, the reason why I use my phone is because this doesn't give me depth of field like we've got now, and that was quite important. So you can absolutely 100% get away with using what you've got as long as you approach it in the right way. So just remember that. Now, if you're interested to know all the gear that I use on a daily basis, you can check those out in the links below, have a read up on those, see if there's some things there that might suit you for what you're doing. I'll add my drone into that as well, because I do get some fly-throughs and stuff for some other people. So number 4, the gear. Use what you've got first. Don't start spending loads of money when you're not ready to do it. You can always upgrade, which I'm planning on upgrading. So how much do you charge? Great question, really difficult question to answer when you're just starting out, because nobody wants to tell you, or certainly I found that nobody wanted to tell me how much they charge, because they were worried that I was going to come in and undercut them. And the first thing to that I'd say is, don't worry about what other people are charging. Don't worry if someone undercuts you. As long as you are providing the best value to your clients and giving them a good service, they're going to come back for more, and they're going to tell other people they know, and that's one of the best referrals you can get. So how much do I charge? Very simple. I charge £350 for 4 hours work. Whether that's 4 hours on site, or 4 hours of editing, or 2 hours on site, 2 hours of editing, it's £350. How did I come up with that number? I ran it through Gemini or ChatGPT, I can't remember which one it was. I literally typed in there, I think, how much should I charge as a videographer on a side hustle? And it gave me a range based off of a full day or a half day. I looked at that and thought, that's quite broad, I don't really know where to go for it. So then I had to think about, how much do I want to earn a day doing something that I enjoy? How much do I currently earn a day doing something that I enjoy? And can I combine those two? Like, do those two numbers match? And they pretty much did. Think of it this way around. What do you feel comfortable asking a client for? And then ask them for it. And then be quiet. Because if you don't ask, you won't get. And if you ask for a certain number and then you start backtracking on it, they've already won, and your price is going to keep coming down and down and down until you're doing something you really enjoy and you're not getting paid as much money as you want to get paid for it. So decide on your number that you feel comfortable asking for, ask for it, and then be quiet and wait for them to answer, because inevitably they'll come back and go, oh yeah, that's fine. And then next time you can maybe negotiate a little bit more. Perhaps they're asking for some more work or some different options, and you can just nibble away and add those on top, and that price will come up. But I hope that helps for pricing. Now, if you'd like me to go into this in a little bit more detail, like structure this out a little bit more for you, or there's anything else you want to know about using your action camera or developing that side hustle business, I've been working for myself for the last 15 years. I know how to go out there and get that money, get that business in. So if there's anything you want to know, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to help. Okay, that is enough chat from me. Watch this video next where I'll take you through my favorite accessories for the DJI Action 5 Pro. Then when you've watched that, get to hustling, get to earning, and I'll see you in the next one.